Stock futures are down sharply this morning amid fears of an AI stock bubble burst. Global tech investors could face a $1 trillion wipeout after the news of Chinese artificial intelligence startup DeepSeek releasing an open source AI model at just a fraction of the cost of its competitors. The company's models appear to rival those from OpenAI, Google, and Meta, despite the U.S. government's effort to limit China's access to cutting-edge AI technology. Joe?
Let's bring in the co-anchor of CNBC Squawk Box and New York Times columnist, Andrew Ross Sorkin. Andrew, we have talked over the past couple of months about my fear, I think our fear, of three bubbles. The crypto bubble, the fiscal bubble, $36 trillion in debt, and the stock market bubble. I want to read this. I just looked this up while Mika was introducing you. The stock market, this is from Fortune 3 days ago. The stock market gauge, named after Warren Buffett, just hit an all-time high, sending a warning worse than before the dot-com bubble bust. Hey, this may be a one-day story. That said, Warren Buffett's believed for a very long time, and a lot of other people like me believe for the valuations are not connected to reality, whether you're talking about crypto, whether you're talking about just how huge the overvaluation is of a lot of stocks.
Look, there's no question the market has been almost priced to perfection. It almost has to be perfect for it to all work out or make any kind of sense. And by the way, you're talking about crypto and you're looking at these AI and big tech stocks. They're almost connected this morning insofar as Bitcoin has now fallen below $100,000, in large part because a lot of the folks who own crypto also happen to be beneficiaries or happen to have owned a lot of those big tech companies. I just want to put this in perspective. Today, this week, last week, I think is going to be historic in terms of a major shift, an upending of the entire paradigm around artificial intelligence, the big tech companies, the big chip companies, and everything else around it, including energy. You know, for a very long time, last 2 years, we've talked about these scaling laws, this idea that for AI to get better and better, you need faster and faster chips. They need to be putting tens and hundreds of billions of dollars of investment in place. They need enormous amounts of energy to support all of that. All of a sudden, literally in a week, we've now seen DeepSeek, this Chinese large language model, emerge, where it appears it's all being done at a fraction of the energy, at a fraction of the chip usage. And so if that is true, it really changes the dynamic about all of these investments. We just saw last week Sam Altman at OpenAI, standing next to President Trump, talking about how they're going to invest, you know, $100 billion, $500 billion in chips. And the question is, do you need all of that if, in fact, this small group, tiny group of 200 people figured out how to do this? Now, I will say, and it's a bit of a, I don't want to say conspiracy theory, but there is a view that potentially this model was created actually using a lot of the highest end NVIDIA chips that, frankly, the Chinese were not supposed to have. There is a view inside the AI community that it is possible that they did get a hold of some 50,000 chips. And if they did, that might explain a lot more of this than perhaps meets the eye. But if they didn't, boy, has the whole landscape just changed. And the value of all these companies, which was so high, invariably has to come down because you won't need the investment that you used to have to.
Well, and again, because the information's coming from China, we don't know exactly what the story is. We were just talking about it, obviously, with COVID and 2020. So we're going to have to wait and see. That said, though, China, regardless, Andrew, you know, China has obviously, their economic outlook has been damaged by Xi and his moves over the past 5 years. That said, they are still an economic behemoth. And this idea also that I think if in fact this plays out, that it shatters is the idea that the U.S. can say, we're going it alone. It's our way or the highway. You've got a lot of countries in Europe. You've got a lot of countries in the Gulf states that are going, yeah, this isn't 1951. Like if you want to elbow us out of the way, we've got China we can work with.
Yep. And I will say the other piece of this, not only can you work with China, the most interesting thing about this particular thing that just came out is it's free. It's open source.
Wow.
So meaning anybody can use it. You can actually run it on your own laptop. It doesn't have to actually be operated from China. You know, we talk about TikTok. It doesn't have to be like that. And you can actually see the code. So you actually can know whether it's secure or not secure or what it is. I mean, from a national, not just national security, but national sort of economic competitive perspective, if you wanted to deal a death blow to what seemed to be the U.S. advantage over everybody else in one fell swoop, if in fact this is real and what we're hearing, and it may not be, but if it is, boy, have they done something pretty remarkable to us.